everybody, welcome today to our third episode of Reclaiming Your Magic. And Asiah is joining me. There she is right there. And
Hello.
Jessica is usually joining us as well, but she is in Spain at the moment. So she's on a different time frame, so she wasn't able to join today. But you have us. And our
Yeah.
topic today is going to be I want to talk about our daily rituals that help us to encourage change in our lives. Like if there's different things that we're trying to create, or if we want to keep what we've already created, but then build on it. So like things that we do so that we can change the thoughts that we always use that are not conducive to what we really want, and then also because those thoughts create the patterns, and so we want to also change the patterns and our habits so that we can start creating the lifestyle that we want, like the new job or career like I want, and the new home like I want, like a
Exactly.
wonderful man like I want. And Ozia, what are your wants real quick? What are some of the things you want?
Um, my ones are basically, oh my gosh, there are so many. Just self-preservation,
Mm,
inner peace,
mhm,
maintaining my health.
yeah.
I've been on this strategic weight loss journey since literally 2018. I
Mhm.
had a late, very late in life miscarriage, and it put a lot of hormonal change and um, madness into my body, a lot of grief and a lot of weight. So I've been on that journey and I've done really well. And then I went through a lot of surgeries with health. I battled cancer. So got through that. And now I'm back on where did this all start? Like, where did this manifest? And coping with it emotionally and mentally. So I'm realizing it sounds like it's not long, but that's only 6 years. And I had,
Oh, that is long though. When you're going
yeah,
through it.
I had packed, the weight went on really quick. And you know how you gain weight when you're young and you're like, oh, pshaw, I'll lose it in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
Did not happen. So I had ballooned up into the 200s. It was very uncomfortable and very depressed. So I've gotten back down. I'm 5 pounds away from my actual perfect, just dream weight,
Oh,
which I never
wow. That's good.
yeah.
And the five
So
pounds too is always the hardest too, I think too. And they say, which you probably already know, you lose the weight in the same direction or manner as you put it on. And what I mean by that is like all of my weight is here. Like this is my baby basket. This is the basket that I hold all my weight. All my weight is right here. And so this is the hardest part or the most challenging part for me to dissolve. And I say hardest because I don't work on it. So but so that's correct.
can you I'm so sorry. I lost connection temporarily.
Okay.
Um, there we go. It's coming back in now. So I
Oh,
apologize.
that's
I
okay.
think that is just my internet connection.
So
So
did you hear what
yeah,
I was saying about that too? That's correct, right? The weight that you first start getting rid of, it is that the last weight that you put on, right? Isn't that how it works? Like you put on the weight, and then as you start dieting and doing your exercise, it actually comes off of the same place you last put it on. Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay.
And it was just I was yo-yoing a lot, and I went, you know,
Excuse
kind
me,
of
guys.
backpedal to what I know,
Allergies.
having been in healthcare and diet and exercise my whole life, and nothing was working. So I went to balance things medically and did some hormone replacement treatments, which helped immensely. Okay, so long story short, I've gone this journey and now it's 2024. And I looked in the mirror and went, what the fuck?
What you look
So I
great. Wait,
now
I
I'm,
hope you looked at yourself and went, "What the fuck? I look great," right?
I did not.
Why? Because I guess because we don't see what you don't see what we see, right? You see it through a filter, and that's the same way
I
as
did too.
everybody. We see it through our filter of judgment and
Oh,
criticizing.
bad judgment, just self bad judgment, and where did you go through where the time go? It's showing, and then to make it worse, I'm an esthetician, so I'm like, practice what you preach. So like you got the equipment. So I started just self caring. I want to continue in that journey of teaching self love and self caring
I
and
love
sharing
that.
my story,
Hmm.
just those things, and then continuing on with aesthetic health care.
Okay, okay.
'Cause that is, people don't associate those two things together. Aesthetics is beauty, healthcare is inner, and combining the two, it's nothing wrong with it. A lot of
No.
people are like, oh, it's about self love. It's about that inner love.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with saying this is where I am. I love the way I look, and
Hmm.
that's fine. But there's a lot of us out there that are like, I would like to look outside like I feel inside.
Hmm.
Like I started feeling really good again and picking up cycling and being able to do things I've never thought I'd do. So now I'm working on um, the outside and the inside health.
Hmm.
And then, like, I ended up with E. coli 2 weeks,
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Mm.
So today I did a lot of self love. I went and did this, like we were discussing on last week's podcast. If you guys missed it, it's awesome. It's about Yanni.
It is about vaginal health and loving your vajayjay, loving your
I thought that
magical
was
genie.
such a fabulous thing. So I was thinking about that early this morning,
Hmm.
and I get my Yanni pot, and I steamed my whole scalp and did a deep conditioner
Oh,
on the scalp,
wow. I love
and then
that.
my face and did a microdermabrasion on it. So I'm
That's good for the self care. And I want to point
feeling
out, too, since you just mentioned real quick about how you did you say a hot oil treatment on your hair? And I want people to know then if you have your hair braided, because I love having my hair braided, keep
me
having
too.
my hair in braids. I love it so much. It's so convenient, so good for your hair. You're not pulling on it. But I never realized that you can do a hot oil treatment while you have your braids in, or your twists, or your locks, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So I wanted to
And that's
point
the
that
best
out.
time to do it
Oh.
because the scalp is so exposed to the elements. It can tend to get very dry. So those are the times you want to add those nutrients in. And if you do happen to have a face steamer at home, utilize that for your scalp too. Just sit a low stool and let that steam in and rotate the scalp. It's very relaxing, not only to the scalp, to the hair follicle, but also just to the entire being, because you put on some really good toning bells, raise that vibration in the room, and
Mm-hmm.
just meditate on what you perceive you want to be and those goals that you want to do in the
Mm-hmm.
future and how you want to progress with your Monday. It's really good to do those things over whatever your weekend may be.
I love that.
Um, yeah,
Some
and
so your self care. So use those moments when you're actually not racing around, running around. And like Ozzy was mentioning, you may have your weekend might not be on the traditional Saturday and Sunday. So whenever your
mhm,
weekend is, that's when you want to take some time out to do some self care. Because what I was going to say too, I have mine written down. Like I was going to ask too, what are some of the techniques you use to become unstuck? That's what we're talking about. So Ozzy is mentioning a big one, which is self care. And then I was also going to just show, like mentioned some of the aromatherapies, like on a daily basis, I am constantly using incense. And like I have my favorite incense, like this is one of my favorite companies. And then this comes with like a multi pack of different variety. And then what I
Ooh.
do, yeah, because it came in with about 12 of them, and in each of them there was about 10. So it was so wonderful. And then I write to myself, which one is my favorite. And then because I love doing things in alignment, I'll close my eyes and this is say, okay, what is the one that I would will help to uplift me the most in this moment? That I close my eyes and pick. I'm all in about, just using my intuition and my instincts and my all of that to align me with choices in my life, right? Are you stuck, Asiah? Because you look like you're not even moving. But it's a beautiful frozen pick. At least if you have to be frozen, being frozen in the way Ozzy is frozen is a perfect freeze, right? But hopefully she's gonna come on within a second and just unfreeze and do her internet. And then what I'm gonna also say is smudging. I love to smudge in order to get myself back into alignment. Like this is one of a sage and pink lotus smudging spray that I showed in another one of our podcasts because I just love it. And you just go like this. Let me admit Ozzy again. So you just spray like over your head, and this is kind of like smudging. You're like changing
Oh,
your environment. I can't see you though. You're like
okay,
changing
now
your
I'm back again. I
environment.
can see
You're
you.
changing the vibration of the energy around you, and that's what you're doing with the smudging. I'm just showing some of the things that I use while you're coming back on. Yay!
Okay, I love that. And then I have
Oh, wait, wait,
another.
wait. One more thing I was showing. And then this one, Kelly, my sister Kelly got it for one of the Chris birthday presents this year, and it's a wonderful elixir. It's called Flora Goddess, and it actually has clear quartz in it. So I'll use that sometimes, to change my environment. And listen to, even the sound is one of those
Oh,
really good things because sound energy is another thing
I
that helps,
love it.
with the crystals. But go on, Ozzy is back. What was the question though?
Um,
Now, because I was just going
um,
over like some of the.
no, that's fine. I
Okay.
think that's fabulous. Also, I got out a lot of my crystals and
Yay!
just,
Okay.
yeah, I rinsed them. I just rinsed them and
Mm-hmm.
rearranged them in different parts of the house so that it kind of feng shuied the energy,
Mm-hmm.
which is very cleansing also.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things to do to, like, some people might listen to us and be like, I don't have any of that in my house. Like, there's things that are very simple. If you do not have these things, or maybe you have one or two of them and not the rest, a simple, do it hot, steaming. I don't care how hot it is outside, as hot as you can tolerate it, and pour an entire bag of Epsom salts
In what?
in a bathtub
Oh, okay, okay,
and
okay.
do a salt
Hmm.
dip. Stay in it as long as you can. Leave the bath water in there. Get out. Lay on the bed. Just breathe deeply because you're going to be very overheated, and the salt detoxes the body.
Okay. Oh,
It pulls out the toxins. It does help pull out the heavy metals out of the bloodstream, and then go back in again as that bath cools down. Do it again, and then
oh.
the third time, let some of the water out and fill it up with cold, and just cold plunge. You don't have to soak. Plunge yourself. On the third bath, dry off and watch your entire vibration change.
Oh, I love that. I love that ritual. And that's a new
Such
one
a good,
for me. I hadn't heard
yeah.
of that one. I love that. Because I know, like,
I,
my dad was a big, huge believer, Noel, because I have two dads, Noel and Tommy, but also Noel. Um, he he was a big believer in the ice cold, the extremely hot, go in the shower as extremely hot as you can, and then turn it as cold as you can, and then I think one more hot, and then get out. That's what he used to always.
that's
That
the
was one
same
of his.
thing. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yeah.
I miss your dad so much.
I know, I
I'm
know.
so in tune and aligned with everything he taught us that back then we were like, Dad, you know, it's Uncle Gilbert. He's so granola crunch. And now I'm like worshiping everything that he said. I like live by. We used to do that also in Utah with the kids from the time I brought them there. They were just babies. And we had our favorite hot springs. Now, this hot spring
Oh.
could rotate at one end from like 105 degrees,
Mhm.
but when you got to the middle of it,
Mhm.
it could get up to 130.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Wow.
most people in the middle couldn't tolerate it. It would scald them
Mhm.
badly.
Mhm.
But I used to sit in the middle because I'm neurotic and I
Wow.
loved it. And I just sit there until my body just turned to a noodle. And then I'd hold the kids' hands and we'd all jump out and roll in snow.
Oh, I love
And then
that.
come back in.
Oh.
And that really resets everything in the body. I can't tell you. I miss those days where we had those good moments in Utah. Now most of the hot springs are commercial out in Utah.
Oh.
You still have a lot of them that are natural, but they're a little bit of a hike to get to,
Now what about
especially in winter.
now Oklahoma? Does Oklahoma have the natural hot springs too? Because
I do
there's
not.
oh, okay. They have so many other things too. I would have thought. Okay, is it probably because it doesn't? Well, I don't know. I was gonna say it doesn't get as hot.
Yeah, and there's no volcanoes. Utah,
Oh,
Idaho, Colorado, Montana,
California. Because remember, California has the
California.
hot springs. Yes,
Oh, in California we have
over in the
the
IE. Remember the?
spots.
Mm-hmm. I know. I haven't been in
But
a hot spring in
IE,
so long. I really can't. I can't wait for a hot spring. Okay, well, okay.
we
Let me go
should
into
do
other
a
things
podcast
too.
from a hot spring.
Huh?
Saying we should podcast
I
directly from a hot
know.
spring.
We will. I'm going to put that on there. That's on the list too. And then I was going to tell you another thing to techniques to become unstuck is if you ask for guidance or ask about your angels that are all around you. Like I know that there's a lot around me and there's a lot around everybody, but they're different for there's different groups and there's different energies around each of us, right? And so one of
Mm-hmm.
the things that Jessica was telling me that she does or did a few weeks ago or last week was asked, who are my spirit guides around me? So then I did the same thing, and it was so wonderful because how I did it was, okay. If you want to find out the name, so what I did was, as what Jessica told me about, is there. You see all the beautiful books on your bookcase back there. What I did was, I have a bookcase in my hallway, so I closed my eyes. First, I knew that I was always clear with my intention, and I asked, okay, I want to know who's around me right now, who is the guiding force, who is with me most of the time, and who is with me right this moment, right? I closed my eyes, I picked out a book, I didn't even open my eyes yet, I opened it up, and the book, the top of the chapter showed me the name of the book, but it says, my name is Lucy. Or wait, or
Oh,
I am Lucy. Hold on, let me show you the book.
are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh, that is wow.
And the thing about it is, I hadn't even looked. I hadn't even looked in my bookcase. This book I got. Can you see it or is it backwards? Because for
I
me
can
it's
see it.
backwards. Okay. This book I got. So when I went to Pittsburgh, Philadelphia last year, and I just got something at the airport just to read on the plane. And so when I opened it up, it literally says, "My name is Lucy Barton." So obviously I didn't think Barton, but I'm like Lucy. And then that could be many things. Lucy is light. Lucy could be Lucifer, which has the wrong inclination because Lucifer is actually not bad. So
Uh-huh.
it could be of light, right? So then I said, okay, put it back. And I said, okay, just to confirm, I want to make sure this is actually working. So give me an indication of something that is a clear, so I feel like it's Lucy, but is there anybody else in this? I closed my eyes, Asiah, picked out a book, opened the book, a card with Tommy's baseball picture just fell out of the book. Yes. And I was like, I didn't even know that I put a baseball card in that book. I obviously at some point I did, but it was just cool that that moment I was like, okay, so who's with me? Opened it up. Tommy. Which he's on my
Oh,
dresser. I know. And they're on my dresser, Tommy and Mom on the dresser. I talk to them every morning when I wake up. And it was this wonderful confirmation. So we could do
I
fun things like that.
love
to
that.
find
I
out
love it.
who's around you, who's that guardian that's most with you right at that moment. And it's just fun to see that we really are in alignment and in touch with the guides and our angels around us. All you have to do is ask.
There is an other side, another side. Or we transcend, but we're still here. We're just not in flesh form in
Mm-hmm.
another. We're just on another level,
Mm-hmm.
and we can, guide. There's also. I was listening to something, and I couldn't even tell you what it was. It was a couple of nights ago, as I fell asleep, um, and it was saying. Um, get the words correct. Something to the effect of we are put back, our spirits are put back in the mortal flesh, and we always think to teach our children, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the voice was saying, no, it's to show our parents and their spirit that is within their flesh,
Right.
to show our parents what their life, what their goals should reaching their goals could and should be, what the next level
Oh.
is for their spiritual enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
We're here actually for the parents. You know, you've done a job well when you have taken them and they can look at you and go, that's where I strive to be. You want, like, our children are teaching us. Like, we each have a child. We have a child that challenges us. We have, etc. And they're showing us, in essence, how to be better people in the next life.
Well, they're actually too, and I see it's more. It's like they're mirrors. They're a mirror of the things that I think we're mirrors of for all of for each other, like mirrors of what we should be working on, right? Um,
Exactly.
mm-hmm. And then the same thing, and then like
Jump in there big time. I feel you on that. It's, and that hits hard for me because how long it took me to love my
appreciate
hair.
your hair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, my entire life
Mm-hmm.
revolved around
Mm-hmm.
self-loathing on my hair.
And it
It
came
did.
from people telling you those things when you were a
It really
kid.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
color, but you have bad hair.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
Mm-hmm.
never be pretty. You'd be pretty if it weren't for your hair texture.
Or they were
You'll,
probably jealous too of the color, I think too, because that's the
yeah,
color of the
that too.
sun. That's the color of the sun, and that gets attention, and it's so light, and you know what I mean?
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
energy of it.
And it took years, and it's self-loathing and dehumanizing for anyone you love to say that you should be embarrassed of the way something grows out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the equivalent to saying, oh, your breast or your skin color, or these are things
Mm-hmm.
you cannot change.
Exactly.
You were
Exactly.
born with. So
Mm-hmm.
he does not. He is definitely. Don't let me talk to you. But don't let me talk
I
to
told
you.
her that too. I literally said that. I was like,
Yeah, all of it. And this is one of the most, to anybody that doesn't know Laura's daughters. Oh my God, she's
or to
stunning.
anybody that doesn't know Laura as a mom, as a mother bear, because I come off so nice because I am. I'm very nice. I'm very understanding. And I try not to criticize and I try not to judge as much as I possibly can. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
saying something to my children, adults
Yeah,
or not, whether they're adults or not, I'm going to stick up for them, and it's not going to be pleasant for you.
the Taurus comes out. If you're behind her, you're gonna get butt kicked in the head. And then if you're in front of her, she's gonna gore you. She's docile and kind and nice, and yeah. Until that happens, no, don't get near the cops.
Exactly. Exactly. But okay, now the next one too. I was going to tell you this one. Jessica told me a few days ago about, and then I thought I was going to ask her how to do it, and she told me, and then I was going to look on a video, and then I didn't have time, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own based on how Jessica described it to me, and what I've seen in my experience, and so I made two of them. So what I'm getting ready to show you is like if I have questions, like for an example, what was I? Oh, I was asking about the time frame. I was asking my guides and my loved ones and my mentors, which are on the other side, the time frame of when my house is going to possibly, get under contract, and when will I sell it? And because so I want it, because you want to ask yes or no questions like, will my house sell by or be under contract and close escrow by the end of October? So I made this map myself. So you see how up and down is yes, and to the
Okay.
side is no, right?
Okay.
So you make that, and then I have, sorry for stepping away,
No,
but
you're fine.
okay, this beautiful pendulum.
I love that. I have one too. I love
Yes,
it.
it's pretty high, and I'm pretty sure Danielle got me this because Danielle gives me these wonderful gifts, for like whatever the occasion is. But so then I asked the question, will I? Oh, first you have to make sure you tell your guide what yes means, right? So you would
Okay.
say, going up and down means yes. See, I'm actually swinging it myself. So this is not something the spirits are doing. I'm doing that. And then you tell your spirits, okay, if you move it this direction, this means no. So then that
Okay.
way you just do that, right? And then when you ask your question, first you stop everything, right? Have it in the middle, don't move it at all, then you ask your question. And it's so wonderful, Ozzy, as I'm sure you know, that they actually talk to you and you communicate and they give you the right answer. And the way you test it is first you ask a question that you know the answer to. So I would say, is my name Kelly? And it literally would go, no. And then
No.
if I say, okay, is my name Laura? It literally would go yes. So I knew, okay, they know what the answer is, like how to do it, and they are going with my guides, and they were completely exact and on everything. I have no questions about when I'll be under contract, which for me that helps me to let go of stress. Because now
It does.
I've confirmed all those things that I've been asking for are coming, and these are the dates they're going to come. So now I can just relax and know they're coming and not put up resistance.
Instead of inksing, you
Exactly.
are like just preparing.
Exactly. Exactly. Because then the next thing you have to do is once you get that out of the way, then you take the small steps towards whatever it is you're trying to change. And you can also use this one. This is the one I haven't used this one yet. This was
Ooh, I like that one.
this is the directional one where you say if the pendulum moves, in clockwise, then that would be yes. But if the pendulum moves counterclockwise, that would mean no. And that's what you would tell your guides. So when you ask your question, they can answer it appropriately. But I loved it,
I love that,
Asiah.
and it's so funny because that's what tattoo I want next. I want
Oh,
and then you put that up, and I went, oh, a tattoo.
I love
Okay.
that.
Okay, so on that note too of tools, I
Mhm.
have a because you're mentioning it.
Okay.
So years ago, when when mom lived in Utah with me, and you know how my mom is a very eccentric. She's
In a wonderful way, though. Oh my
talented,
gosh.
smart, and
Mhm.
beautiful and
Highly.
stunning.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I had a dream, and I got so excited. I woke up this dream, and in the dream, God was explaining the number three to me, and I remember Anne Crean, that's our great grandmother's sister,
Mhm.
telling me one is the marker, two is a digit, three is the first number. She was like, and then it just continues. So two is two ones, etc.
Mhm.
And you just continually, but she goes, it'll always prime back down to a three when it's a holy number. So look, she'd have me read when I first learned to read the Bible or the Torah, Quran. She'd go, just do the threes.
Mhm.
And they would still, and believe it or not, if you do that, freaky, it still makes sense. Read all the threes, like 3, 6, 9, 12, and skip the rest. It still makes sense. The stories tie together. It's freaky. And it would bring me to like Bible study lessons. Anyway, so she was saying, in most cultures around the world, you'll find the three, the Holy Trinity, the maiden, mother, crone.
Mhm.
It's always in a three stages of life.
Mhm.
So in the dream, the voice, the creator said to me, um, the numbers three times itself. So three
Mm.
times three is the
Mhm.
holiest number. It's a 9.
Okay.
Wake up and be thankful.
Mm.
Wake up, be thankful for your breath And
Mhm.
I went in my head over 3 things that were non-material. And he said, now here, wake up and be thankful. And I went in my head over 9 things that were material. And I woke up and I went, wow. And
Mm.
the rest of the day I was feeling really good. So I made these beads. Hold on, I have a second.
Oh, okay.
And I just strung together some beads. I had them on, my string broke recently,
Mhm.
but they're really pretty.
Oh, let me see. I love. Wait, we can't see them because of your background. Okay, wait. Okay, put them closer to your body because it has to be. Okay, yeah, right there. Those are
Okay.
gorgeous. Wait, what are the? What's the material? I can't tell them.
So I used
Oh,
these
I
are just
love
basic,
those. Okay,
but I
okay. Those are
started
so
making them,
pretty.
and there's 9 large beads and 9 small beads.
Oh,
And they're on
wow.
a stretchy cord,
Mhm.
and they're not made to be worn as jewelry. They're
Okay.
made to be put into your hand and fiddled with.
Oh, I love that. Okay,
With
okay.
them. And put them under your pillow. And when you wake up in the morning, before you get up, if you have anxiety to get out of bed, grab your beads on your pillow and hold the first bead and go, something material. I have this bet. Something non material.
Oh.
I opened my eyes. Something material. I'm looking at a TV. Not many people have that. Something non material. You know, I have feet to walk on. I can get out of bed. And
I
you just,
love that.
and they're called grace beads.
I
So I
love
made
that.
my mom, my sister, all of my kids, everybody I used crystals. I
Mm.
used long lights, like a red crystal, blue crystal.
Mhm.
Natural crystals, I used precious stones, turquoise. Everybody to suit their personality. I
I
made, they
love
had
that.
8 beads on a basic string
Mhm.
to just put in. The kids took them to school with them. And I said, whenever you get anxiety standing in a store or sitting in traffic, grab your beads. And instead of bitching and complaining, you're going to go through 18 things to be grateful for.
I love
Kind of,
that,
and
Ozzy.
that's the Holy Trinity times itself in material form and in non material form. I said, you know what? If you have 18 things that you say thank you for every day, you can get on with your day. There's
Exactly.
nothing that can start you. There's 18
Mhm.
reasons to get out of bed.
And if you
There are
can't find 18, remember just you can do 3. Like for
8
mine, I
reasons.
do 3 when I wake up in the morning. So if you can't find 18, which hopefully you can, but
Yeah.
some people have 18 or more, but just can't. They're not in the mindset yet
That's the
to
thing.
talk about it or to even see them as blessings. So
3
yeah.
times 3,
Mhm.
the more you do it, the faster you get.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the more easy it gets. By day 3 of doing your 9s, by day 3,
Mhm.
you have it down to a rhythm. And it goes by really fast. And everyone has 18 things.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's 18 things in your body and around you that are spiritual, like people who have passed on, people who are still with you. There's 18 things everywhere, and it goes by super fast because you got 9 and 9.
And it helps you to start creating those new neural pathways of positive thoughts as opposed
It
to
does.
always the
That's,
thoughts that don't feel good
yeah,
or
that's why I stopped.
don't get
His
you
mom
anywhere.
did the same thing. I said I'm going to do this, and when I gave him out as gifts, I had a little tissue note paper that explained the whole thing
Oh.
that I printed out for everybody, and they were all in boxes, and sent them out as gifts. And she took it to home, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to make these in profit. I'm going to start selling them, and I'm going to do mines in 6s." I had a dream too. And God told me it was 6, not. And then I'm going to do baby beads for the baby burn. And I'm going to do them in 3s. And I was just like, so I stopped making them. But I just recently,
See, okay, that's an example. Ozzy let somebody take
sorry,
her energy away from her or something that she
I could
liked.
cry.
She did do that.
But
So
I
we don't want
immediately
to
just
do
go,
that. We don't want to do
I don't
that.
want to do this anymore. And I stepped back for so many years on something so beautiful and so simple that came to me in my inner voice in a dream, which is your God within you. That's
Mhm.
how God speaks to you,
Mhm.
wherever you perceive her to be, because God is a girl. Just saying. Anyway, so the great mother spoke to me and told me about this. And then I allowed someone to just
Yes.
absolutely suck that joy out of it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I recently started, that's why this one broke
Mhm.
as I took it out of a drawer. And I told the story to my friend across the street, and she went, "We're putting those back together, and you're going to start making your grace beads again." So I'm going to make these in
You should,
this
because like,
holiday.
because this is what I make with Aussie knows too. These are my love your waist beads that are now on my necklace, and then I put like some of them have like positive affirmations, like it'll say love or
What?
prosperity. Yes, and so I feel like when I put them on for that day, that helps with that vibration or that focus of the day that I want to do and focus on.
If you look down and everything just completely changes about that, especially with women, like we were discussing last week. Once again, tune into last week. It's great. Um, Loving that area of your body and opening those channels back up to healing, because that is the part of our body that we create, and it's the part of our body we loathe the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that shouldn't be that way. We need to change that. And that is purely through a stigma of cultural loathing. We're taught that.
Yes,
We're
and she's
taught.
talking about the vajayjay. That's what that
Oh,
segue into that was
but you
about
didn't
that.
get it.
Hmm But you have to watch that segment. Yeah, so watch that
Watch that
segment.
segment because it's really good on loving yourself there too. It's a big part of your healing process, and all things like women who are going through changes or weight loss or weight gain or just healing from illnesses or childbirth or miscarriage. Those are parts of the body you can't start loathing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to care for them, just like we look in the mirror and we care about our skin and our face.
Mm-hmm.
That we can't ignore that too. So this is
Exactly.
just another spiritual journey, and I love those beads. I want to say, let's swap.
I know.
You
I
make
need
me
to send you some. I'm gonna send you something,
send me
and then
some, and I'll send you a set of mine.
yeah, and then we'll
I'll make.
talk about them on one of our recordings. So then one of our
Oh, it's
podcasts,
on
so
a
we can see.
Kraken.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make you a set. I'm thinking. Okay, your birthstone. What is May?
Emerald. Just
Oh,
like the cut of the my wedding engagement ring that I'm putting out there to be receiving from the man of my love,
and the
my man of
emerald.
my life.
Did I show you mine?
No, let me see.
So here's a good story too. Gonna make you cry. So we were in Idaho at the hot springs this summer, July, with my kids, and the grandbaby, came out, and Aki flew out from New York.
Yeah.
And Jerry told every time we go to
Aki's
the
her son,
Idaho,
and Harry's who?
Jerry is my
Oh, I thought
husband.
you said Harry. I was like,
Jerry.
and Harry? Who's Harry?
And the
Jerry.
girls are, my daughters. I have a million kids, so please excuse me. So this is my wedding band.
Let me see.
Okay,
Oh, it's
so
beautiful.
and I love it. I love it
Yes.
and love it, love it. So Jerry told them every time we go to the Idaho hot springs, there's a place the girls and I go to, and we usually buy.
Okay, Asiah cut off. She was going to say, we usually buy. She was going to tell us. Okay, we usually buy what? You cut off for a minute.
Oh, a moonstone.
Oh, I love moonstones. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
and then we
moonstones.
have to exchange them. So now I have my daughter-in-law, her mother, my daughter Chance, my daughter Mitty, and we're like, so Mitty had asked my husband what to get, and he was like, "Oh, find something to go with her wedding band." And I'm not a diamond-y person. I want meaning. I don't want to look like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they picked out for me. It is an uncut raw diamond.
Let me see. Okay, I can't see it. Oh my God. Wait, you have to hold it up. Okay, hold it up closer to your face.
Okay,
Oh my
this
gosh,
way.
that's gorgeous. Wait, what? How
It
do you?
still had-
Wait, how do you even find that?
It was the only one in the store. She said it's really rare. It still has the flaws. And the way my Mitty gave it to you, I'm just trying not to cry. She said, "That's so you, Mom." She goes, "It's uncut. It's the same way it came out of the earth. No one needed to polish it. It's beautiful with all the pressure and cracks and flaws, just the way God made it. It's still a diamond. No one needs to. It's not pretentious.
Oh, it doesn't have to be changed in any way. Oh, I love that. That gave me chills from the
And they
top.
said, and that's how we see you. So
Oh, Ozia,
I knew it.
oh my gosh, I love that.
And so
Oh,
these are my forever rings.
oh, I love
And they
that.
match. Look at that. They both
Oh,
match.
oh, I see. That's beautiful, Ozia, and I love that story. Oh, that's so touchy.
And it
I
just
love that.
opened my heart to a lot of healing because,
Mm.
it's a new marriage. So
Mhm.
I'm still navigating. This poor, wonderful man is like this most of the time. He's so like, good Lord, what have I done? And he's just wonderful. So,
But the thing
yeah,
about it is he knew you guys have formed your relationship on a profound friendship and respect for each other. It wasn't even planned. It wasn't like some planned romantic anything. So he got to know the real you and you got to know the real him without any filters for any of you guys putting on any fakeness because you weren't
yeah,
going in for that
yeah,
at the beginning.
exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. So it's just a beautiful moment of spirituality and healing. And sometimes we get so wrapped up in I guess relationships and things and what can you bring to me and what can I, and that's more in our youth, like I say, in our survival mode years.
Mhm.
And when you hit later, you kind of want trust
Mm.
and
And
spirituality,
stability.
stability,
Mhm.
and freedom.
Exactly. And you want
And
someone that's going to see you for who you are and not
ex-
who they want you to be or what their idea of a woman or a wife was going to be. And it seems like as
exactly.
men get older, do they seem to feel more, I know it's not all men because some of the men I've
Uh,
dated are not like Jerry. So,
yeah,
they're not all men,
it
so it's not all going.
it's funny because his late wife is so beautiful. I've heard
Oh.
so many stories about her,
Mhm.
but when I moved here, she and I have a lot in common, and we're polar opposites. She is very submissive and very quiet. I'm like,
You're the opposite, complete opposite of that.
there, look at my face. So opposite. But the things that were surrounding the house, like I would find a crystal and like a big crystal, and I'd have almost the same matching one.
Oh,
It
wow.
looked like they could be connected out of the ground. Like the
Wow.
cracks would almost fit.
Okay.
And I was like, this is mine from Utah. How did she get the piece in the backyard that almost connects with it? It was just freaky.
Wow.
Like she collects the same things that I do and just
So you
reads the
have some
same.
similarities. You have some inner qualities that are some similar
Hmm.
qualities.
Hunting mushrooms.
Oh, wow. So that's so
That
funny. Wait,
she's
so is Jerry even into any of that? Because how does he
no.
align with women that are like naturalist? You're a witch. I'm going to say a good witch. And the reason I'm
Yeah.
saying witch is not for the way people perceive witch, because I feel I'm a witch too. And the reason I say that is because we're able to use our inner resources to create the things that we want through
We're
our own.
healers.
Right, right. And so when I
We
say
are
that, that's what I
light
mean.
healers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something we were born
A
with. This
healer.
is something we're born into. So
Mm-hmm.
when you use the word witch, stop looking for a cauldron, and I'm not going to boil your children. I'm going But if they
Yes.
get COVID, I can pull them out.
But you know what I was just thinking? Because we're healers, we always need a ground, someone that believes or at least is open to what we believe and grounds us. So I think that's what Jerry is for you, right? He's your grounder. He keeps your feet to the ground, to the earth, right? Because
Really
or else you'll
does.
be flying up in there with us.
I would
We'll
have
be,
floated away.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Uh-huh.
right?
It
So I
was
think that's where it
like
comes in.
healing.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It's very grounding. So when seeking like your relationship, I know that you're looking for that perfect mate to just travel and be calm with
Mm-hmm.
and spend the rest of your days with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Take your eyes off looking around for him, and he'll
Mm-hmm.
drop right in front of you. I always say, just because I told, excuse me, let me backtrack. Sorry, I'm kind of floating all over the place. Let me backtrack on relationships. And I remember putting out to the universe years before I met Jerry, I just want to date my friends. I want to date myself and my friends. So I started that journey with buying 2 random tickets to everywhere I wanted to go. Or,
Oh.
yes. And being bold enough, I had a lot of Facebook friend groups that I was familiar with, camping partners, and I'd pick out the person that never got to go,
Oh, I love
whether it's
that.
male or female.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you straight up, I got burned by the females.
Oh, wow. You mean flaked? Like they just wouldn't even show,
3
they would
times in a
act
row.
like they would want to go on the trip or the free thing you were offering and they
Yeah.
just wouldn't.
They would no-show and
Wow.
laugh at me.
And waste the
I,
ticket too that you were so gratefully, generously
yeah.
giving them and allowing an
And it
opportunity.
was heartbreaking. I had one girl
Hmm.
actually bashed me, and I was going through the weight loss thing then. So I was still, a couple 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling it like my normal self.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a lot to do that. And I rented a couple of jet skis. I pre-rented them for the
Wow.
resort. Oh my gosh. And I was like so excited. And when I got there, it was 3 girls and they laughed at me. They said, "You don't really think we're going to sit next to you in bikinis. Joke's on you. You're not really invited. We're not giving you the address." And I went,
What?
"But
Asia?
I rented jet skis and prepaid for this place." And they're like, "Well, stay in it alone." So
It's so hard to even
yeah,
imagine that adult women do that. That
yeah,
sounds so
grown-ups.
like something that someone would do in junior high
Yeah.
school.
You know what happened? It was really funny. My best friend, his name is James. He's like my Utah brother.
Mm-hmm.
He was like just out of nowhere jumped in the car. I always had those backup true friends.
Aww.
And it taught me who's really by my side. He just literally
Exactly.
got his big ass pit bull dog. He was like, "Can I bring the dog?" I'm like, I'm sitting on the side of the road bawling. Like,
Aw.
I don't have anywhere to go. Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
And he just drove me. We drove 4 hours and found on accident. Like I was crying so bad. He pulled off the road.
Oh.
Like 3.5 hours into the trip, he pulled off. He
Wow.
goes, "Okay, we're gonna regroup," and we went down a dirt road and got lost. And we opened to this huge river, and I'm like, "Where are we? This is beautiful." We let the dog out to pee, and I went, "It's so hot. I'm gonna jump in the river." I jumped in the river. It was hot.
Oh my gosh, you found a hot spring? A hot river?
River. So the hot springs were pouring into this river.
Okay.
So we stayed there and we just sat in the water literally. And then we looked up, it was the 4th of July weekend. I'll never forget it. We looked up and fireworks from
See,
every
that's
direction.
way better than what you
Way
would have
better.
been doing with those.
Yeah. And then the next morning we cruised into town. It was Bear Lake. And I hope this girl sees this podcast because the next day I said, we have those jet skis that I paid like $300 for.
And it's not like Asiah had lots of money to
I had
spend
none.
willy-nilly on these people, but go
I
on,
had
or
none.
herself.
It was
Okay.
like my last dime.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the jet skis and we were going down the river. The Bear Lake is beautiful. It's known for its clear blue waters and it's clean and beautiful. So we're tearing it up and we passed on accident the girls on the porch.
What?
Shut up. I saw them. So he goes, "That's them." And he goes, "Let's go back around. Give it one last wahoo." And and they were like this. And you know that like a year later, she was like, "That was the biggest regret of my life."
Oh, wow. She did.
And
Okay, so she did. Okay, she contacted you a year later.
a year
Did she?
later, I ran. She didn't contact me. I ran into her.
Oh, did she apologize though?
No, and it's okay.
It is okay.
And
It is
so
okay.
it
It's
just
okay.
taught
It's
me
okay.
you don't have to, you know, whether it's male or female, sometimes your heart gets broken.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, if this was a guy, my self-esteem would be feeling just the same.
Yeah.
And the girl, you know how we always think, well, the guy doesn't like me because I'm too fat.
Hmm.
These girls didn't like me because they said, because you lost too much weight. Do you
Wow.
understand what we do to ourselves?
Wow.
And it taught me dating should not be about, stop putting our flaws into why it doesn't work. It's not us.
Hmm. It's not.
Love yourself and just keep going. Date your best friends, male or female. The best times I've had was going out with my best friends that were male, Costa Rica, just traveling the world,
Hmm.
going to Chicago, like just whatever time I had, and went back into my self-employment mode and enjoyed life with just best friends. And that's how I met Jerry.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so before we go, I was gonna hit on who are your inspirations, but we'll save that for the next one because I have like my
Ooh,
gurus and my inspirations. They're like Abraham Hicks, Greg Brayton, but I want us all to
I want
give.
you to do that one.
Yes, and I want us all to do that so that we can give everybody that actually tunes in some other options of gurus and people that can help them too if they're in alignment with it. But so to close it out, this was about different things and processes that you can use to create the lifestyle that you want or to keep the lifestyle that you already have and just to make it bigger. So we were saying like aromatherapy, your gratitude in the morning, and also throughout the day. Like if so, it's not only once in the moment. It's like throughout your day. You have to do it consistently, but not where it's not fun, because it becomes fun though, because it picks you up. It changes your vibration. I love that. Yes, yes,
Grab
yes.
those beads and start going. I'm so grateful I have this car. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I have gas in it. I can
Mhm.
go where I want to go. I have
Mhm.
freedom. Just
And if
instead
you
of
don't
waiting,
have that, you have your legs though. And if you don't have your legs, you
those
might
are
have
non-material. There you go.
exactly. You have other ways modes of transportation. So whatever you're grateful, I'm grateful for that I'm breathing today. I'm grateful that all my systems are working. So
Yeah.
you don't have to always have things outside to be grateful for as well, because we, like Asiah mentioned earlier, there's so much going on in our bodies that are way more than 18 if you can't find any outside things
And
to be
everything
grateful.
is vibration. So what you
Mhm.
say, your body is going to manifest.
Mhm.
So if
Mhm.
you start self-loathing, your body's going to break down. Just
Exactly.
there are always 9 reasons to love. Think of 9 things physically inside yourself that are non-material that you can move forward with. Your lungs, your eyes, your fact that you still have hair on your head, your
Mhm.
teeth haven't fallen out. I love every day that I wake up and put my feet on the floor because I
Oh
lost my feet. I
yeah.
lost feet to walk.
Mhm.
And it was, but you know what I work with? With
Feet.
amputees and paralysis.
Oh.
So they literally laughed their tails off the first day I cried. I went into work just moaning, groaning on a pair of crutches of how much pain I was in. They were like,
At least you have feet.
you can feel that pain? Oh, you poor baby. Does it hurt? Try mine on. And they just made
Exactly.
me really laugh and grasp that prospect. There's always somebody that looks at you like you have the most beautiful life ever.
Mhm.
And you do. Look at from their perspective of where you
Exactly. I love that. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Azia. And we will see you guys next time. And remember to reclaim your magic in all that you do and value and love yourself. Right?
absolutely every single day.
All
Every
right.
day.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
See you soon.